Okay, so the microphone is probably going to sound a little better now that I'm holding it directly in front of my face, mostly because the closer a microphone is, the more likely it is to pick up bass frequencies, if that makes sense. So you may not completely notice that this microphone is basically devoid of the bass frequencies. It's almost as though the high pass filter is permanently on. But with this kind of setup, if I hold it in my hand like this, like a broadcast microphone, it sounds a lot better. The God of gods! Okay, so today we're doing another microphone review. This microphone is from Tonor. This is the Tonor TC-777. 737. Basically, this microphone is from a company that I have reviewed a lot of microphones for. In fact, I think one of my favorite USB microphone bundles on a budget just to recommend to people is still the Tonor Q9. I really like that microphone. If you've not seen the video for that microphone, check somewhere. There's going to be a link somewhere. So, speaking about the Tonor TC-777, when you unbox the microphone, the only things that you're going to get are the microphone itself. You're going to get this foam pop filter. You're going to get this mini pop filter attachment thing that you attach to this cable that's permanently wired to the shock mount. The microphone, the shock mount, the thing that holds the pop filter, the windscreen pop filter, and the microphone stand are basically married to each other out of the box, technically speaking. The USB cable is also permanently attached to the microphone. You cannot remove it. You cannot replace it. If you damage it, it's just married to it. And that's basically it. Beyond that, you're going to get a service card and you're going to get a manual, a user manual. One thing that I thought was odd about the user manual is the fact that the only thing that is inside the user manual is teaching you how to connect the microphone to your computer, whether you use Windows or Mac. But it's a plug and play microphone, so that's not really supposed to be something difficult, but we appreciate that it's there. I tried to check inside of the manual for the frequency response of this microphone because when I was listening back to the microphone, I thought something was odd. And, well, it wasn't in the documentation. So I did a little bit of research and I went on Amazon.com. Yes, so I went on Amazon.com and I searched for the Tonor TC-777. So when I got to the bottom of the page, I realized that the Tonor TC-777 has a frequency response range of 100 Hz to 16 kHz. If you need a voiceover microphone, you're going to be needing something that captures frequencies from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. But this one starts from all the way at 100 Hz to 16 kHz. And I understand it. I mean, the microphone sounded like there was a permanent high pass filter on, so I thought something didn't sound right and I wanted to make sure that the frequency response that I had in my head was correct. Now, 100 Hz is already taking away most of the low end in your voice. Me, for example, the most peculiar thing about my voice is the bass frequency. A lot of people like my voice for voiceover work and stuff because of the way the bass in my voice sounds, but this microphone is like basically completely getting rid of that, and that could be a good or a bad thing. I don't know. For me personally, I would not use this microphone for voiceovers or podcasts, but it would be excellent for gamers. I think this is a gamer's microphone. A gamer that's on a budget that's just looking for a microphone to capture audio, this would work. Or anybody who is trying to do Zoom calls from home or, Skype calls, office meetings and stuff, OBS, things like that, streaming live. This microphone would work because the audio quality over those broadcasting systems anyways is already going to be compressed, so it's not going to matter that those bass frequencies or those low frequencies are not present with this microphone, if that makes sense. Now, like I said, excellent microphone for gaming, excellent microphone for Zoom calls and meetings, excellent microphone for Skype, excellent microphones for webcasts and stuff like that. If you're doing online tutorials and teaching people stuff over the computer or over the phone, this would work fantastic. But if you're looking for a microphone for voiceovers, you're better off choosing a microphone that's got the 20 Hz to 20 kHz frequency range, because this microphone is getting rid of a lot of the low end and also getting rid of some of that high end. The clarity and stuff is just not there. But of course, this is an extremely budget microphone at around $43 as at the time that I'm recording this video. I think that when the virus issue blows over a little bit, the price of this microphone is probably going to come down to somewhere around $30 to $35, and that's probably going to be the sweet spot for when to buy this microphone. Now, a few of my major cons with this microphone: first of all, it has no tally light, so as it is plugged into my computer right now, I have no way of knowing that the microphone is on, except of course the fact that I already checked my DAW earlier to make sure that I was recording, and you know, it showed me that it was recording, and that's totally fine. But beyond that, if you were gaming and somehow this got disconnected, you would never know until you were done, and your audio would just be completely absent. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you wanted to change the volume of this microphone, you cannot do that with on the board of the microphone. There's no volume knob or anything. So you're either going to have to come into the MIDI settings of your computer, or you're either going to have to come into the MIDI settings of your computer and adjust the volume from there, or come into your system preferences and your mic inputs, sounds, inputs, and then you can adjust the input volume of the microphone from here. Those are pretty much the only two ways to do it from a Mac perspective. But if you were using a Windows computer, I'm sure there's a way to do it on Windows computer. It's in a manual. So the absence of a tally light, the fact that there is no volume control, and the fact that this microphone has a frequency response range of 100 Hz to 16 kHz is a bit of a no-no for me personally for voiceover work. But for gaming and for just capturing scratch audio and for video calls and stuff like that, this microphone would work excellent. If you're trying to do like a conference video call, or you're a teacher and you're teaching students from home right now, this would work fantastic. If you want better audio for your Zoom calls or your Skype calls or business meetings, this is going to work fantastic. If you're a gamer and you just want to improve the microphone on your streams or whatever, this is going to work fantastic. But I do not recommend this microphone for voiceover work or podcasts. Now, I really like the fact that they included the foam windscreen and the extra pop filter. So in case you decided to be stubborn, or maybe you add a little bit of a more feminine voice, you don't have a lot of bass in your voice, and you want to use this microphone for voiceovers, you can do that with this foam windscreen pop filter thing. But if you wanted to just use this as is like this, you can actually do that. And actually, let me just take it off the table. Okay, so the microphone is probably going to sound a little better now that I'm holding it directly in front of my face, mostly because the closer a microphone is, the more likely it is to pick up bass frequencies, if that makes sense. So you may not completely notice that this microphone is basically devoid of the bass frequencies. It's almost as though the high-pass filter is permanently on. But with this kind of setup, if I hold it in my hand like this, like a broadcast microphone, it sounds a lot better. Putting it on the desk and trying to do a talking head video, it's not going to sound very good. It's going to sound a little bit more tinny, It's going to sound a little bit more tinny, and that's basically what you're going to get with this microphone. So, who is this microphone for? It's for people who are gamers, who are on an extremely tight budget, and they just need a microphone that's going to work. It's also for people who want to do Zoom calls, people who want to do live streaming, and teach people stuff over the phone or over the computer. And yeah, right now that everybody is indoors, this is probably a very cheap budget way to get into the microphone game and get better audio for your computer than the audio that's on the board of your Windows or your Apple laptop, basically, if you're using a laptop. It's also going to be a better microphone than the microphone that's on the body of your camera. So the audio out of here is still going to be really decent, and you can actually still run with it instead of using the onboard microphone on your camera. Those were basically my thoughts on the Tonor TC-777. Should you buy this microphone? If you really need an improvement on your audio and your current audio is really bad, this would work. If you're on a tight budget, this would work. And that was pretty much all I think about the Tonor TC-777. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I will see you on another video that was shot by Kagan. Peace. The God of gods!